Kate, do you have a speaker for me?
Yeah, we've got Marina Villatoro in the room.
Hey, Marina, can you hear me?
Hi, I can. How are you?
Good. Where are
Thanks
you
for having me.
broadcasting from today?
I am broadcasting from Guatemala.
Guatemala. Okay. Uh, Go ahead and get your PowerPoint up, and I'll make your introduction. International speaker on stages such as the Money Show, Ninja Trader, and Trader Expo, plus mentor and teacher to over 700 students. She's been trading and teaching the financial markets for years. Marina started her trading journey on her 40th birthday when she jumped in with both feet and started trading ES minis and hasn't looked back. The journey wasn't easy, and after losing her entire account in one day, sounds like you had some leverage there. In a matter of minutes, she had a massive breakthrough. The entire industry was teaching the day trading process to be way too complex. She realized that no one was teaching the most important part of trading, the basics, reading and understanding the market language. It speaks to us loud and clear, and being able to truly understand it will take your trading to a whole new level. So, Marie and I see Trader Chick up here. Looks like you have a new logo, and you have until 5 minutes before the hour, and I will be listening to your presentation.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Kate. Thanks, John, for having me. Hi, everybody. So I don't know if you could hear my husband sneezing in the background. Me and my husband were hit with COVID. If any of you have not had COVID, this thing is no joke. I was not like I've had it now for 4 days thinking that I'll be fine, but it just keeps on coming back. So if you hear my voice really low and subdued, it's simply because I am lucky that I am even here at the moment doing this. I figure, you know what, I just got to show up because hopefully that'll get me out of bed. So thanks guys for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'm actually grateful that I'm able to get up and talk to you guys today all together. So where are you all coming from? Like I mentioned, I am in Guatemala. Where are you guys coming here from? I would love to know, where is everybody joining us from? And if you guys can't hear me, let me know. I think that you should be able to hear me okay. So don't be shy. Are you guys here? Are you alive? Come on, I'm the one with COVID and I'm here talking it up. So you guys, I want to see some interaction. One thing I always say, day trading is not a spectator sport. And if you guys are just going to be sitting around and being a spectator, unfortunately, it's going to be hard for you to manage being a day trader. All right, here we go. Florida, Alabama, Oregon, very cool. The UK, awesome, awesome. Minnesota, Gary, James, Karen, awesome. Very happy to have you guys here. Okay. Oh, ow, okay. I'm looking at the chat box. So I'm feeling all a little bit loopy and I was wondering what's going on. And then I told my husband some of the medication I just took. He was like, this stuff makes you loopy loop. It's interesting, right? The medicine that we are legally permitted to take can make you super loopy. I cannot even touch a machinery at the way I'm feeling right now, yet it is illegal. Interesting, right? I'm always completely amazed with things that we're permitted to take into our bodies. Okay, so here I am. I am Marina, the Trader Chick. And today I want to dig deep into one thing that we overlook as traders, swing traders, investing, and that is foundation, understanding the basics, because it's such an easy thing to do. When you have a little bit of money, it's the only industry in the world that permits you to enter and put your money in without any barrier whatsoever is the financial industry, the financial markets. I actually believe that a lot of times people, the financial markets, they don't even want us to be educated enough because then we would know what we're doing to be able to make money. And a lot of times people are like, well, I have some money. I'm going to go and do this and this and this. And they end up losing, right? Because what they're doing is they're putting in windows before they've even put in the walls, right? And then there's like that whole thing, oh, 95% of traders fail. Well, that's because anybody could enter the market without having zero proof that they know what they're doing, right? You can't get into a plane without understanding how to, understand what's happening in the cockhold and with the machinery, how to land a plane. It's an understandable thing, not with trading. So I want to actually, one of the things for me is that I lost so much money because I never was taught how to put in the wall before I put in my windows. And that's exactly what I want to cover today. And I can guarantee you just this alone, bringing you back to the basics, I can guarantee will completely take your trading, investing to the next level. That I do know for a fact. Now, before we get started, I do want to just do a really quick intro. This is me. I am Marina, the Trader Chick. I live in Antigua, Guatemala. That's where I'm coming from you right now. And before I was a trader, I was actually a fitness instructor and a travel writer. Believe it or not, travel is this super important thing for me and my family. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. And trading was really one of the only things that truly works with our traveling lifestyle. And it's something that I bring up quite a lot because you need to be able to do things that work with your lifestyle. Otherwise, you're just going to be stuck in that cubicle once again, right? And that's what we want to avoid altogether. And I am trilingual. I was born in the Soviet Union. And this is just, I'm just giving you my background because a lot of people become too obsessed with charts only, but doesn't matter what the charts say because everywhere we go, we bring ourselves, who we are as people and our backstory. And that is something that is really, really important to remember. Okay, it's not about the charts. As a matter of fact, it's about 90% not about the charts. It's 90% mental. Right. And what is mental? It is our backstory. It's who we are. It's how we envision things. It's how we see things. It's our mindset. And the coolest thing about trading, you could do it from anywhere. And as I was introduced, I have been featured on quite a lot of live shows. But since COVID or pandemic hit, I have now I'm doing quite a lot more virtual ones. Okay, just before I get started, I do have a free presentation for you guys. You could get this here at makingofadaytrader.com. Makingofadaytrader.com. I have a free 100% presentation for you guys that you could follow along with what I will be talking about. Okay, so one thing I want to bring up, and I actually listened to the speaker before me who was also saying it really, adamantly. People are like, well, can I hold something overnight? Well, you can, but then it's not what you are doing. So what is day trading and why is it not investing? Unlike investing, day trading, you do not want to diversify. Okay. If you guys are going to get anything out of my presentation today, hopefully this is going to be one of the most important ones of all. Think of yourself, imagine your child coming up to you and saying, hey, I want to learn a musical instrument. And you're like, okay, which one do you want to learn? Well, I want to learn the violin, the flute, the guitar, the drums. And you look at them and you're like, they're so different. You should pick just the one, right? Because once you pick the one, you can master it. And then after that, you can continue on and learn others if you want. Think of Liberace. Love him, hate him, I don't really care. It's not about judging who he is as a person. But what he did was he mastered the piano. None of us here could say that he didn't. He wasn't a master of the piano. I can guarantee if he picked up the guitar, he'd probably kill it as well with a guitar, right? But he didn't because he knew that he mastered the piano. To be a successful day trader, you need to master your instrument. By saying that you want to trade all these different instruments, you're not going to make more money. As a matter of fact, you're going to end up losing more money. Investors, they care about their companies they are investing in. Okay. For instance, right now we are in a devilish bear market. I mean, it is just painful to watch what is happening, right? For investors specifically, right? But if we believe in the company that we invested in, let's say with Apple, right? Apple right now is falling for whatever the reasons are. I'm not going to get into the whole bear market mentality, but the point it is falling, but it's a solid company. Nothing's really changed with it. And investors, we still believe in it, right? We believe that it is going to continue growing. However, day traders, we don't care if the market is going to go up or if it's going to go down because we can make money either way, right? The link is makingofadaytrader.com. You can just put in makingofadaytrader.com. It didn't come hyperlink for some reason, but just put in makingofadaytrader.com and it'll bring you there. Okay, so day traders, like I said, they don't care either way, right? And that's a huge difference between investors and day traders because we can make money either way. Now, there are all these myths floating around. Making of a daytrader.com. Okay, let me check in a bit. It should be working. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but let me make sure. Okay, so let's talk about some myths. Oops, hang on just 1 second here. Okay, so like I said before, 95% of traders fail. Why? Number one thing is a lot of those 95% of the people, they're like, oh, it's just too risky, it's gambling. Yeah, like I said, it's the only industry in the world that permits you to enter simply because you have some money to put on the line, right? So if you want to be a race car driver, are you going to just buy a race car and join? No, you're going to sit and you're going to learn, you're going to really put in the time. If you're going to be a doctor, you go to university because you're not going to just say to yourself, hey, you know what, I want to be a surgeon. And then the next day enter a operations room and cut somebody open, right? That's also risky. So why is this so risky? Because when we put in money without having any idea of what the strategy is, where to enter specifically, when to exit specifically, understanding what the market is doing, that's called gamble, right? But when you have a very strong strategy, boom, that strategy completely outdoes everything else and it removes the gamble and the risk. And that is something that is so important. You cannot just enter the market. You cannot just hop in a plane and take off because we all know that landing is going to be a suicide mission. Okay. The other big myth is that you need $25,000 to get started. That's totally untrue. Why? Because it depends on which market you're going into. Futures, you could begin between $500 to $1,500. Crypto, you could start with $100. Forex, $100. Stocks, you don't need $25,000 for stocks. You could start with a lot less. $25,000 is only if you're going to have a margins account. Okay, and you do not want to have a margin account. So you could tell your broker that you don't want that at all because margin, I think of it as like loan sharking. Okay. The other thing is a lot of people think that you need to be a math whiz and with a financial background. I was a fitness instructor and I'm still a travel writer. I don't know anything about math or anything about financial backgrounds at all. Okay, you do not need that at all. Anyone can be a day trader, and that's the beauty of it. The other thing is that it's stressful and chaotic. Well, if you have this set up, how is this sustainable? Nobody can possibly be doing this on a sustainable level. This will burn you out entirely. Not to mention, it's going to give you massive analysis paralysis, right? Massive analysis paralysis. You cannot be looking at all these different things while focusing and trying to figure out what's going on. I use one chart. I use my laptop and nothing more. The other thing is, is following this shiny objects syndrome, the buzzing, right? That we always need to upgrade our softwares, our indicators, our algorithms, and all this other crap. The reality is, guys, the reality is the only people making money from softwares and indicators and algorithms are the ones making the softwares, indicators, and algorithms. Okay, if you have one strong platform, that's all you need, because you will have all your free universal indicators there. The other thing is research and the news, buying the rumors, selling the news, it's all good and whatnot, but you really, the more you stay out of the news entirely, the better it can be for you, because I look at it as telenovela dramas, right? Because a lot of them don't have any real rhyme or reason for why something is tanking, because it could be just a melodramatic reasoning. It's not real. So if you don't follow that and just focus on technical analysis, you can do way better. Okay. Now, the other real problem that I see a ton of traders, especially new traders, have is called trigger happiness. Do you guys know what trigger happiness is? Is entering in a million trades within like a short period of time. I used to do this. I used to enter 40 to 60 times when I first began. First of all, the commissions alone will eat you alive. Secondly, the real pro traders, they only take between 1 to 3 trades per day. That's it. Think of yourselves as big game hunters, okay? I'm not condoning hunting, but it's a very good analogy. Why? Because when you think of a big game hunter, when they go out, are they going to be shooting at any prairie dog, any mouse on the road, or a big insect? They're going to be sitting out and waiting for that big game. Pro traders, that's what they do. They go for those 1 to 3 really high probability trades. I actually always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively. Small profits daily bring you big profits yearly. And another massive issue that people have is FOMAT. Have you guys heard of FOMO, fear of missing out? So this is a fear of missing a trade. FOMAT. Here's the reality, guys. There is always another trade coming. Always. Don't think that this is going to be the last trade and then you're going to start chasing that trade. It's going to turn on you, going to go into revenge trading, becomes an emotional cycle, and everything goes wrong. Just remember, there's always another trade coming. Now, going back to that one instrument, what to trade. Okay, here's the thing. There are actually 5 very specific markets to trade. Forex, we all heard of Forex, right? Foreign exchange currencies. Even for Forex, what you do in Forex is you trade pairs. I don't recommend more than 2 pairs, right? Because it's just too much information. And a lot of times I find Forex to be the most melodramatic market, because it's not really about the country's economic stature as much as the egos of their leaders of the countries. And one day, maybe while you're sleeping, both of those leaders might have had like a fight, and all of a sudden that pair goes completely haywire. So you need to really focus and be on top of it. Equities. Whenever I ask people, what do you trade? They're like, stocks. There's 5,000 stocks in the US market alone. 5,000. So what do you mean? You're trading all 5,000? No. So the best people who trade stocks, they break those things down. They niche it down. How? Sectors. Focus on a sector, pharmaceuticals, technology, entertainment, whatever, because when you really know a sector, you could really learn a lot more. Or focus on big caps, small caps, penny stocks. There's also a lot of people that are doing really fabulously with just specific stocks. Tesla, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, right? You want to be able to master it. That is the goal. Futures, another one. Just because futures, you could be trading wheat, you could be trading gold, you could be trading ES, but you can't be trading the 3 of them. Why? Because they're so different. They do not run together. So it's learning a completely different strategy for each one of them. So choose the one that you like the most. I personally prefer the ES. I love it. I think it's the one that moves the smoothest, has a lot of volume, volatility, and that's the one that I've mastered. Okay, options, the same thing, guys. Figure out which ones you want to do, but don't do options and stocks and all that all at once. And crypto, right? Yes, crypto right now is completely going bonkers and in massive panic mode, but it's here to stay. I'm not here to talk about crypto, whatnot, but if you're going to be telling me I trade crypto, and then I ask you, what is it? And you say Bitcoin, I'm going to know that you're amateur because there's over 6,000 projects and altcoins out there. So when you say crypto, be specific, if not to others, to yourself. Know what it is that you are doing. Okay, let's talk about brokers. You guys realize I get this all the time. I get people emailing me, hey, Marina, okay, I got a broker. I want to start trading. Brokers, their number one business is you putting in your money and trading it either through commissions or just putting it in. They could care less if you know what you are doing. On the contrary, they prefer you not to know what you are doing. And back to the most important thing of all, which market are you trading? If you're going to be in futures, do you really want to be with a broker that specializes with equities? Do you really want to be, if you're doing crypto, do you want to be with a futures broker? No, that's where you have to go back to decide what do you want to be trading first. And the other thing is the margin account. I've mentioned this before. Brokers will tell you that it's this perk that they are offering you. Do you know what a margin account is? Margin account is literally a loan sharking situation. They are telling you that we will lend you the money if you don't have enough to buy more, but we don't care if you lose it because we'll still be charging you an interest on it and you still need to give us that money back. So you guys have to fully understand when these brokers and how they work. So before you get a broker, because that's an amateur move, first decide on your market and then you can find the right broker to work with. Now, I want to talk about commissions, live feeds, and quotes. You cannot be a day trader and be on delayed feed. Okay, that's ridiculous. Feed is like your gasoline. You cannot drive a car without gasoline. You cannot have a chart and watch your instrument, whatever it is, without the live feed. Okay, and that comes with the charting software that you use. Understanding commissions. Once again, if you're going to be trading crypto and you're on Tastyworks because they have some crypto, first of all, they don't even have enough crypto there for you to really choose from. Secondly, they're going to be charging you a huge amount of commission because they are not a crypto exchange. If you're going to be futures and you're on an equities, it's the same thing. They're going to be charging a lot more commission, right? So you need to understand that and be on the right one because then you'll be able to use the best tools for you and not spend that much money. Okay, remember, commissions is how they make money off of you. Okay, platform. You cannot be a Formula One driver in a minivan. You cannot be a professional day trader on, Red Bull, or not Red Bull, what is it? Robinhood, Webbull, right? Those aren't real platforms. So you need to have a real platform to really work with. And there are so many today, right? Thinkorswim, Ninja Trader, TradingView, MetaTrader, MetaStock. I mean, there's so many good ones. So you need to find the right one. Okay, I want to talk about trading lingo because it just amazes me that people are in the live market and they don't know the difference between a short and a long. And then they wonder why they're constantly losing money. I had this one student, she kept on going short when she wanted to go long, right? She kept on selling when she wanted to buy. And she was doing this in the live market, which completely blew my mind because I don't recommend anyone going to a live market until you are fully ready. And she was losing money all the time and she couldn't understand it. She kept on sending me a chart. She's like, what am I doing wrong? I'm like, you are selling, but you want to buy. And this is so important. This is the trading lingo. If you don't understand the trading lingo, you're not going to be able to do anything correctly. What is a good broker for ES futures? It depends, right? I personally use AMP futures. I love AMP futures. And I think also MetaTrader has many different brokers. There's so many brokers. Also, where are you? Do you live in the States, in Europe, Canada? Because that will also really, really determine which broker is good for you, because it does work through Europe. Again, are you in the UK? Are you in Sweden? You know, Europe is not a country. It's it's a continent, and every country has its own broker that you need to deal with. So I would just recommend whatever country you're in, put in that country futures broker. Austria, so then do that, right? Austria futures broker. That will be your best bet. And if you're already with a good platform, you could actually email the platform and say, hey, which broker do you recommend for an Austrian? They could help you like that as well. Okay, let's get into day trading lingo. Intraday trading. Guys, what does that mean? It literally means you are in and out of all of your positions within the same day. If you keep it overnight, you're not intraday anymore, you're a swing trader. Why does this matter? If you are trading futures, day trade futures, you could start with $1,500. But if you're going to be keeping anything overnight, you need $10,000 to $15,000 in your account. That's a huge difference, right? Okay, bull market, we all know what that is, right? Market going up, trending up. Bear market, basically what we're in right now, market trending down, market going down. We also have the sideways trend, right? There's 3 trends. So we have the upward, downward, and a sideways trend. Okay, I want to talk about profit targets and risk management, because we all know of risk management, even though the majority of us like to do the mental stop, right? I know, I've been there. I'm 100% guilty of this mental stop. Let me give you a clear picture of what a mental stop looks like and why your ego will always win and never permit you to put in a real stop once you have the mental stop going. It's literally saying that when you get into a car and you put your baby on a seat and you put in a mental seatbelt, saying to yourself, oh, if we get into a car accident, I'll be able to save them with my arm. Obviously, it sounds as stupid as it is. So guys, what is risk management? It is you telling the market, this is all I'm willing to risk on this trade. You are in control of this market. You are in control of where your risk lies, and that takes away the gamble and the risk of it. Secondly, profit target. What is profit target? It is literally telling the market where you want to exit. I cannot even tell you the amount of times people tell me that they put in their target, but then they removed it because they saw the market was going to continue, and their ego won over. And then what happened? Greed. Greed takes over. And what happens? Boom, it turned on them and stopped them out. Not only did they not make any money, they actually ended up losing. Look, put in your first target profit. You're in control of the market. You're telling the market, this is where I want to be filled. You could do a split target. If you want that, you could do a split target. You move that, you have the other target at another area. Then you move your risk to a break even. Now you already have money in the pocket and you can make more money or break even. Okay, super important, guys. Super important, because if you're not, guess what? You are telling the market that you're an amateur, you don't know what you're doing, and the market is just going to walk all over you. And like I said before, you need charts. You need charts. I don't care what instrument you are trading, but without a chart, you're not going to trade well. Okay, it is the holy grail for all of us. Indicators. I use 2 indicators. That's all I use. At one point, I had 10 indicators and I had 3 monitors. I was in analysis paralysis all the time. And when I ended up losing a ton of money, I literally came back, threw out both of my monitors. They were almost new, less than a year old, just put them out. And I removed all my indicators and slowly started to put them back in. I get a lot of students saying to me, oh, but I have this indicator and that indicator. I'm like, great, what do you use it for? Oh, I don't know, but this guy said it was a good idea. Who cares what they said? Is it working for you? Look, guys, you need to put in you need to put in indicators and try them out that work for you. Okay, it's maybe, yes, use a suggestion from somebody else, but now you need to go and be the smart adult, right? And try them out. Don't just rely just because somebody else said it works for them, okay? Because what could work for them might not work for you, right? So you need to be smart. And that's really what it's about. And don't do it in the live market. Don't test that out in the live market because that is the opposite of smart, okay? All right, so let's continue here. Trending markets. Like I mentioned earlier, there's three, right? Up, down, and sideways. And let's talk about buying, going long. What is that? What is buying and going long? It is literally when you are entering at a lower price point, exiting at a higher price point, okay? And you're taking the profit in between. Pretty easy to understand. What is selling? Going short. It is literally exiting at a entering at a higher price point, exiting at a lower price point, and you're taking that in between. You are selling. You are going short. Okay, market entry. All right, let's get back to the market entry versus the limit order or order waiting, whatever you want to call it. When you are market entering and you are a day trader, you are literally telling the market that you have no idea what you're doing because something maybe look good and you're just hopping in. The market penalizes you for that. How? By slippage. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of slippage. Slippage is when you tell the market, all right, I want to enter here. It immediately takes away 25% of where you entered. It moves you up 25%. So you already lost 25%. And that goes the same for when you put a market entry, market exit in the same exact way. But when you put in a limit order, you're telling the market, this is where I want to be entered. Only here, because I'm in control of the market, this is where I'm going to be entered. And when you enter, when the market fills your order, it fills it at exact price that you're telling it. You don't get any slippage. Now, stop limit, like I said, is the difference between a market exit and a stop limit. What is a stop limit? Again, you're telling the market, this is all I'm willing to risk on this trade. When you are market exit, you're running after it, you're getting out, you're being desperate, you're emotional, and the market penalizes you for that through slippage. Again, up to 25%. So be smart. Do not just go in randomly because the market knows when you don't know what you are doing. Okay, technical analysis. This is the most important thing of everything you could possibly do, and that is technical analysis, right? So what is technical analysis? And this could be used on any instruments. And the beauty of technical analysis, the majority of it is free. Areas, understanding areas. Look, the market revisits areas over and over and over again. It revisits and hits those areas, and we need to respect those areas. So what are these areas? Resistance area. So what is a resistance area? It's the ceiling of the market. It's where the market has hit 3 or 4 or more times over and over and over again. You need to draw this in. You cannot have a mental resistance because when you are in the live market, putting in your real money, everything is about to the left. So if I'm going to be looking to the left and not understanding what's going on, I'm going to screw myself. So when I have this resistance area here and I'm entering a market and I see that there's a resistance area, I could get out in time knowing that the market has respected that area. Support area. It is literally the floor of the market, right? It is where the market is revisiting over and over and over again. Excuse me, wait. Okay, it's where it's revisiting over and over and over again. Okay, now reversal patterns. I live for reversal patterns. These are my telltale signs. This is free, guys. If you're not using reversal patterns, I really recommend you stop and learn them right now. The 3 basic ones are double top, triple top, head and shoulders. or double bottom, triple bottom, same thing, depending, you know. These three will save your life. They are not 100% indicative of a reversal, but they are what 100% are, is telling you that the market is slowing down. And you never want to be in a market that is starting to lose its steam, right? Now, divergence. I live for divergence as much as I do for reversal patterns. Why? Because I use the MACDs. I find the MACDs to be the least lagging indicator out there. And so what does this mean? As you can see, the price action here is telling me it's still inclining upwards, yet my MACDs are telling me that it's starting to decline. This is telling me that the market is starting to lose its strength. It's protecting me. It's telling me stay out. Until I give you confirmation, stay out of the market. Okay, let's put all this together. Remember, you could go here, makingofadaytrader.com, and you could get my cheat sheet, makingofadaytrader.com. Now, I want to talk about breaking out of areas, because we all know that breakouts are the most popular, most powerful, impactful trades out there. But if you don't have your areas drawn in, if you don't have that understanding of technical analysis, you're going to miss this. And this is free. You could just literally draw it in where you see this resistance area. And then when it breaks out, boom, you know that that is a breakout trade. Okay. Right here. So breakout trade. We're heading in one direction. All of a sudden, there's this sideways market, right? Telling me that this is total indecision, but boom, it floats, flies right out there. Okay. This is what a breakout trade looks like. Okay. And I use my MACD, so it gives me, this dashed line is the 0 line. And when it flows over there, there's no divergence. I'm telling the market where I want to enter. Boom. That's what it's about. Okay. Makingofadaytrader.com. All right. Now I've had some questions about my indicators. So let's talk about that. Okay. You guys were asking about what time frame I'm in. So I don't use a minute chart. I use a tick chart. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a tick chart before. What it is the coolest thing about tick charts is that it is, you see per bar here, and right here you see ticks remaining. I use 610 ticks. That means per each bar, there are 610 real-time transactions going on right in front of me. Okay. It looks like my feed. Oh, there we go. As you can see here. So what is it showing me? It's showing me that the volatility, the real-time movement is happening right here, as you can see, and it's moving pretty well, right? It's quite volatile, although there's quite a lot of areas that are forming right now. Look at this total channel, right? But this looks like a beautiful trending channel. That means I could trade in this channel, and that's good, right? Because it gives me a big enough area where it could form trends that I could enter in and out. Okay, so that's a 610 tick chart. It's probably closest related to 1 to 3 minute chart. But if you're sitting there with a minute chart and not really understanding why things aren't working, this, that, maybe think about putting in ticks, because then you could actually see in real time what is the transactions, what are going on, what's going on. Okay, so a lot of you asked me about, some of you asked me about my MACDs. I use the most universal indicator for the MACDs, nothing out of the ordinary. One thing I do want to explain to you guys about MACDs, and this does not matter which platform you're using on, they all pretty much come the same. It usually comes with 3 plots: MACDs, the average, and the difference. To me, the average and the difference are just white noise. I don't like them. So I made them transparent. You could completely ignore them. You could also just like turn them off entirely. And I only use the actual MACDs. That's all I use. So you could see my MACDs right here, right? Look at that. Massive strength. This is how I view my charts, right? It's beautiful like that. I understand what's happening. Okay, does that make sense? And I was also asked about my indicators, my EMAs, I mean. I use 3 EMAs. I use the 20 EMA, I use the 52 EMA, and I use the 135 EMA. So I have 3 time frames all on the same chart. This is the only chart I use, guys. I don't use anything else. I love it. It's simple. I understand exactly where to enter, where to exit, what's happening. And that's all I need. I don't need the stress in my life, to be honest with you. I've been there, I've done that, and it's over. I'm done with that stress. Okay. Is there any questions about my chart? Let me know. Hang on just one second. Why is this? There we go. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any more questions about the actual chart. And here's the thing, guys, we have everything that we need to take action, everything. We've got the YouTube channels, we've got these summits, we've got books, there's everything out there. But the real problem is, the real question, I should say, is how do you know you're doing it right? How do you know that what you are doing is actually the right thing? How? I mean, all of this is great, but the real question you're probably asking yourself is, how do I get really started? How do I get started? And then this is not from beginners only. This is from seasoned traders who have been trading for ages but are still losing money, right? I get asked this all the time. What can I do to turn this around and be profitable consistently? So I find that the majority of times is lacking understanding of basics. Like, again, people are putting in windows before they were putting in their walls, and their windows just keep on crashing it down, right? You cannot get in the car and just go, right? You have to understand, where is the clutch? Where is the brake? Where is the accelerator? How do I go into first gear? How do I go into reversal? These are the basics of the car. We forget that these are basics that we once learned. Without these basics, we would never know how to drive the car. You cannot have somebody who's never seen a car get in the car with you and that you tell them, okay, put on your seatbelt. This is going to save your life. When they've never seen a seatbelt, they have no idea how to put it in, but they know that it's going to save their lives, right? This is something that we really have to understand. And honestly, I spent over $20,000 on my own trainings. And whenever I would ask basic questions, can you please explain reversal patterns? Can you show me divergences? I would either be completely ignored or treated as if I was born with that information, but we're not. We're not born with that information. And that's the problem with the day trading industry, right? It's kind of like a musical. Your kid wants to learn how to play the flute, and they get to the academy, the music academy. And instead of going for a class, how to hold the flute and blow the flute, blow into the flute, they're thrown into the symphonic pit and expected to keep up. It's not possible, right? And that's exactly what happened to me. I was struggling for years because I was thrown into these symphonic pits until I finally lost almost $4,000 in 5 minutes. And then I quit. I walked away. But the problem is, and I can guarantee you, every single person in this room is going through the same thing, is that we all get bit by the trading bug and it never stops itching. And you know why? Because deep down inside, we all know that we could do this. We all know we could do this. And I knew deep down we could do this. So I came back. I quit for like 4 or 5 months. And I came back learning the basics. Yeah, Maru, it is basic information. And honestly, a lot of people overlook the basic information. And I can guarantee that a lot of people here are failing because of that. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of Coach John Wooden, because let's get real, guys. The market is going to be serving you some serious humble pie. And if you are sitting in this presentation, I think we've all been through that. Who is Coach John Wooden? One day, one of my students said to me that, Marina, your training is very similar to Coach John Wooden. I'm like, who is this guy? He was one of the most legendary basketball coaches ever. I mean, this guy won 88 championships, 10 NCAAs, you name it. And he trained the top of the top of the top. But guess what? Every time they started their season training, a new season, he would go back to the basics. So if you're sitting here saying, oh my God, I know this, that means your ego just won. It means you don't know it, and it's good to review. He goes into how to tie a shoe, how to roll your sock, how to dribble the ball, because your ego could be telling you, I know how to do all of this. But if you're on that court and your shoe falls off and you sprain your ankle, guess what? You're sitting out the entire season. So yeah, basics is the most important thing. And I can guarantee if I wasn't taught the basics, the majority of people overlook those basics. I have something that is super special for you guys only today. It is my introductory course, Bootcamp for Day Trading. It is my introductory course. You guys, you could take it anywhere on any apparatus, laptop, desktop, tablets, phones, you name it. One-time price of $97. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. 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 Guys, $97 one-time fee. Here, let's talk about this. What can you get for $97 that brings you the same return on investment? Going out for a day of golf? To be honest with you, I don't even think that's $97 anymore. I think it's $97 per person. So you're going to go out there all alone. How about taking somebody out to lunch? I live in Guatemala, and $97 doesn't even buy lunch for 3 people anymore. Okay, so let me break this down for you guys. What do you get in this bootcamp? First of all, understand the Simplifying Day Trading package. The other thing is that I have so many people constantly freaking out about and losing a lot of their money is because they don't know how to set up their platforms properly, right? They don't know how to set up their platform. I have a 30-minute tutorial that I will be showing you. It does not matter which platform you're on so that you never have to struggle with that again. I struggled for months. No more. That is a pointless thing to struggle, and I will help you completely get over that. Then we jump into the most important things, dissecting those markets, understanding upward trend, sideways trend. Sideways trends is where the majority of the money gets lost and taken. Downwards trend, magic telltale signs, those reversal areas, divergences. Okay, these will give you the most amount of information, but if you don't know what you're looking for, how can you possibly know what you're doing? Reversal patterns, how to spot those areas, resistance areas, support areas, divergences. Divergences, guys, will save you. They save me all the time. But if you don't know what they're looking for, how to look for, you're going to miss it out. And also mastering the breakout. Okay, mastering that breakout, and you'll get unlimited access to the curriculum. All of this, $1,600. Okay, you'll get all of this, but I have some cool stuff to also share with you. Here are some of my student testimonials, and I have students from all over the world because that's the beauty of trading. We could do it from anywhere in the world. Michelle, best money I ever spent. You are the only mentor that actually checks the work. I am enjoying the boot camp and I'm learning every day. But I want to share something really, really, really important with you guys. Like I said before, how do you know you're doing it right? So I'm going to cut that out entirely because what I'm including in this one-time price of $97, 1 month of one-on-one mentorship with me, one-on-one mentorship with me, feedback, coaching, unlimited. You cannot go wrong with that. That is the thing that will take you to the top. And one more thing, I have a live trade chat room where it's me, nobody else, no moderators, no hired hands, me working with you weekly. That is on top of the 1 month. You'll get free 30 days live trade chat room membership sitting in this room. All this for that one-time price of $97. No more. Okay, $97. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Bootcampthedaytrading.com. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. So what do you guys get for $97? Everything in the course, 30 days, one-on-one mentorship with me, 30 days, live chat room membership. Okay. And this is the reality. You know it, and I know it. This is worth less than one trade that you normally place in a day, right? One. I mean, this is a no-brainer, guys. $97. The cost of all this course and all that comes with it will bring you 10 times return on your investment. You could go out 100 times with your friends and take them out just from that one payment. But here's the thing. I only have space for 25 people. Why? Because I really focus all of my attention on you guys with the mentorship. Okay, when you go here, when you go to bootcampfordaytrading.com, you will be taken to this form right here. And as you can see, you could actually even start with $59 if you want. $97. So let's go right here. Look, I'll show you right here. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Okay. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. And let me see if there's any questions here. What special about Guatemala that made you choose to live here? My husband is actually Guatemalan. And interestingly enough, I'm the reason why we have been here for 13 years, because I absolutely love it. We live in Antigua, Guatemala, one of the most diverse, amazing communities I've ever lived in. I've never been anywhere this long. We lived in Costa Rica before, and now we've been living here. We're actually planning on moving to Spain, hopefully in the next 6 months. It depends on some things, but that's our next place. It was one of the best places to raise my kids. My son, my youngest now is 12, so it's time for them to go and check out some new places. But if you guys want to move, and be expats, I think Antigua, Guatemala is probably the best place ever. So, and there you go. I'm quite biased. I love it here. All right, guys, let me know if there's any other questions. If not, I'm excited to see you all in the course, bootcampfordaytrading.com. And thank you again. And